The invisible ceiling that has suffocated your finances is being shattered today. You have been operating as if your struggle was permanent, believing the enemy's lie that your breakthrough was canceled. This is a false report. I imagine the sudden end of that struggle, every bill, every debt, every sleepless night rendered obsolete in an instant. This is not a drill. The tornado of God's favor is not coming to warn you. It is coming to remove what has been blocking you. As Napoleon Hill taught, when your desire aligns with divine power, the resulting force is irreversible. That force is now imminent. You have been standing in the silence, watching the bills pile higher, feeling the weight of that invisible ceiling pressing down on you with every passing month. You have asked yourself in the darkness if this is simply your life now, if the struggle has become your permanent address, if somehow you missed the moment when God was distributing favor and your name was skipped on the list. That thought has haunted you, hasn't it? The fear that maybe you are the exception, that maybe your case is too hard, that maybe the blessing was never meant for you at all. But the silence was not abandonment. The silence was the receding of the waters before the wave hits. What you interpreted as delay was actually the divine pullback before the force arrives. The tornado of God's favor is not coming to announce itself politely at your door. It is not coming to ask permission. It is coming to shatter the ceiling that has suffocated your finances, to remove by force what has been blocking the flow, and to deliver what has already been assigned to you in the unseen realm. You are not watching this force from a distance. You are standing at the exact coordinates where it will make landfall, and what happens in the next moments will determine whether you are positioned to receive the full weight of this divine intervention, or whether you will be bypassed because you did not. Understand the laws that govern how this force operates. This is not a motivational exercise. This is not positive thinking dressed up in spiritual language. This is the activation of a law as precise as gravity. A law that Napoleon Hill spent decades decoding from the lives of those who had moved from nothing to everything, those who had commanded wealth out of thin air, not because they were lucky, but because they had aligned their desire with divine power in such a way that the resulting force became irreversible. Hill called these principles steps, but they are not steps. They are laws. And when you violate a law, the universe does not make exceptions. When you honor a law, the universe does not withhold. The tornado is already in motion. The question is whether you will be ready when it arrives. The breakthrough you have been praying for was never canceled. It was being prepared. Every closed door, every denied application, every humiliating rejection was not evidence that God had forgotten you. It was evidence that the blessing being assembled for you was too large to fit through the small openings you were trying to force it through. The tornado does not come through a crack in the wall. It removes the wall entirely. But here is the part that most people miss, the part that causes them to stand in the middle of divine intervention and still walk away empty-handed. The tornado will remove the blockage, but it will not override your will. You must command it. You must align with it. You must prepare the vessel to hold what it is about to deposit. And you must do this with absolute precision, because favor at this level does not tolerate hesitation. What you are about to receive is not a framework for gradual improvement. This is the blueprint for sudden reversal. This is the intelligence that allows a person drowning in debt to be completely free within 72 hours, not because they won the lottery, not because a distant relative died and left them money, but because they activated a force that rearranged their reality according to a higher law. You have been operating under the economy of lack, the belief system that says resources are scarce and you must fight for scraps. That economy is about to be overridden by the economy of divine surplus, where the supply is not determined by your paycheck or your credit score, but by the size of the desire you are willing to authorize and the precision with which you follow the commands that unlock it. There are 3 laws you must master before the tornado makes landfall. These are not suggestions. These are not principles you can pick and choose from based on what feels comfortable. These are the immutable requirements for receiving what is about to be released. The first law is the law of divine veto, the force that transforms your desire from a weak wish into an authorized command that the universe must obey. The second law is the law of irreversible faith, the substance that turns the invisible promise into physical manifestation that forces the unseen realm to produce tangible evidence in your bank account, in your mailbox, in your circumstances. The third law is the law of absolute preparation, the discipline that creates the capacity to hold the overflow when it arrives, because God does not pour a flood onto a cracked foundation. Each of these laws will be delivered to you with surgical precision, and at the end, you will be given the 72-hour activation command, the exact ritual that seals the contract and ensures that the tornado deposits your breakthrough directly into your hands. You were taught that desire is selfish, that wanting wealth is somehow less spiritual than wanting to be humble and content with nothing. That teaching is a lie designed to keep you small. Hill discovered that desire is not the enemy of spirituality. It is the ignition system. Desire is the signal you send into the unseen realm that tells divine power where to aim, the tornado. But not just any desire, not the weak, apologetic, half-hearted hoping that maybe if you are good enough, something nice might happen. The desire that activates this law is what Hill called a burning desire, but that language is too soft for what this actually is. This is a divine veto. This is you standing in the courtroom of the universe and issuing a command that overrides every previous verdict that has been spoken over your finances. This is you saying, the struggle is obsolete. The sentence is overturned. The removal of the blockage is now authorized, and I will not negotiate. The enemy told you that your desire for financial freedom was too big, too greedy, too much to ask for. That was the lie that kept you trapped. The truth is that your desire is not too big. It has been too small. You have been asking for survival when you are authorized to command overflow. You have been begging for relief when you are authorized to demand the removal of the entire system that has been suffocating you. The size of your desire determines the size of the response. A weak desire gets a weak response. A burning desire that has been elevated to the level of divine veto gets the tornado. There was a woman who had been crushed under debt for 17 years. She had tried every financial plan, every side hustle, every budgeting system, and nothing moved the needle. She was drowning, and every month she went deeper. Then she stopped asking for relief and started issuing the veto. She stood in her living room surrounded by bills, and she said out loud, "By divine veto, this debt is obsolete. Its removal is authorized. I command the tornado." She did not beg. She did not negotiate. She issued the command with the absolute certainty of someone who understands that desire aligned with divine power is not a request but a legal decree. 72 hours later, an auditor at her credit company discovered an error in the system. The error was not small. The error wiped her slate clean. The debt that had suffocated her for 17 years was removed in a single moment, not because she got lucky, but because she activated the law. You must stop negotiating with the struggle. You must stop treating your financial bondage as if it is a permanent condition that you must learn to manage. You must issue the veto. You must stand in your authority and declare that the blockage is coming down, that the ceiling is being shattered, that the tornado is authorized to remove what has been suffocating you. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. This is you stepping into the identity of someone who understands that the breakthrough is not a distant possibility, but a present reality that is being manifested through your obedience to this law. Your authorized desire is the signal that the breakthrough has already been granted in the unseen realm. The moment you elevate your desire to the level of veto, the moment you stop asking and start commanding, you trigger a response in the spiritual dimension that sets the tornado in motion. It does not matter what your bank account says right now. It does not matter what your credit report says. It does not matter how many doors have been slammed in your face. Those are old verdicts operating under an old system. The veto overrides all of it. The veto says, that was then, this is now. The old system is obsolete. The new supply is authorized. The removal is imminent. Stop negotiating. Issue the veto. Your desire is authorized. These are not steps in a process. These are commands that must be obeyed. The moment you treat your desire as negotiable, the moment you allow the voice of limitation to talk you back down into managing the struggle instead of commanding its removal, you nullify the veto. The tornado is already in motion, but it will not override your free will. If you signal hesitation, if you signal that you are not fully committed to the removal, the tornado will pass over your coordinates, and the breakthrough will be assigned to someone else who is ready to receive it, without doubt, without negotiation, without hesitation. Listen to these words and let them become the frequency of your inner voice. My desire is the divine veto. The struggle is obsolete. I command the removal. Repeat this until it stops being a sentence you are trying to believe and becomes the reality you already know. Repeat this until your nervous system aligns with it, until your body stops bracing for the next bill and starts expecting the arrival of overflow. This is not affirmation. This is activation. This is you aligning your entire being with the law that has already been set in motion. If you ignore this, if you allow the old voice of limitation to pull you back into wishing and hoping instead of commanding, you will nullify the veto. The tornado will pass over you. The favor that was assigned to your coordinates will be reassigned to someone who is ready. Do not let fear of disappointment keep you small. Do not let past failures convince you that this time will be the same. This time is not the same because this time you are not asking. This time you are commanding. This time you are operating under a different law. If you are truly here, if you are ready to shatter the invisible ceiling and command the tornado of God's favor into your life, you must seal this first law right now. This is not passive listening. This is active participation. You must mark this moment as the moment the veto was issued. Comment now. Type the words "veto issued" in the space below this message. Do not skip this. Presence seals the contract. Silence signals hesitation. The universe is watching to see if you are committed or if you are still negotiating. Seal the veto now. You have issued the veto. The command has been sent. The tornado has been authorized. But now we face the second law, the law that most people violate without even realizing it. The law that determines whether the veto remains a powerful intention or becomes a physical manifestation. This is the law of irreversible faith. Hill called this faith, but that word has been so weakened by religious sentimentality that it no longer carries the force of what this actually is. This is not hoping that maybe God will come through. This is not trying to muster up enough positive emotion to convince yourself that something good might happen. This is possession before sight. This is you acting with the absolute certainty of someone who has already received the breakthrough, even though the bank account has not updated yet, even though the circumstances have not shifted yet, even though every piece of visible evidence is still screaming that nothing has changed. Faith at this level is not a feeling. It is a decision. It is the decision to stand in the center of the tornado and know with unshakable certainty that it is removing only the blockage, not you, that it is delivering the breakthrough, not destroying your life. This is the faith that allows you to take action as if the promise is already fulfilled, as if the debt is already gone, as if the overflow is already here. And here is the part that separates those who receive from those who remain stuck. The action you take in faith is the signal that triggers the manifestation. The universe does not respond to what you say. The universe responds to what you do. Your behavior is the evidence of what you truly believe. And when your behavior aligns with the veto, when you start acting like someone who has already been freed, the tornado responds by making the invisible visible. There was a man facing foreclosure. He had 30 days before he lost everything. He had no job, no prospects, no backup plan. Every logical voice told him to prepare for the worst, to start packing, to accept defeat. Instead, he was given a command. Act as if the veto is final. Act as if the tornado has already removed the blockage. He went to the store and bought a new suit, the kind of suit you wear to a job you do not have yet. He spent money he did not have on the clothing of someone whose financial crisis has already been resolved. It made no logical sense. But faith is not logic. Faith is the substance that forces the invisible to become visible. 3 days later, a rival company that had been watching his career for years bought his mortgage debt just so they could hire him. They did not rescue him. They recruited him. The foreclosure was canceled. The job was delivered. The tornado hit exactly where he was standing because his behavior signaled that he was ready. Stop waiting. Start possessing. Faith is your title deed. These are not motivational slogans. These are the commands that unlock the second law. When you stop waiting for permission and start possessing what has already been assigned to you, when you stop acting like a beggar, hoping for relief, and start acting like an heir, claiming an inheritance, you create the conditions that allow the tornado to make landfall in your life. The breakthrough is not coming because you earned it through good behavior. The breakthrough is coming because you aligned your will with divine law. And divine law does not operate on merit. It operates on obedience. You must kick down the door of doubt by acting with the absolute certainty of one who has already received the breakthrough. This is not pretending. This is not fake it till you make it nonsense. This is you stepping into the identity that matches the veto you issued. You cannot issue a veto for overflow and then act like someone who is still trapped. The universe does not honor split signals. You must become the person who has already crossed through the tornado before the tornado can deliver what it is carrying. Listen to these words and let them overwrite the voice of doubt. I am not waiting. I am possessing. The debt is removed. The favor is here. Repeat this until your nervous system stops, flinching at the bills, and starts expecting the arrival. Repeat this until you can walk into your bank without shame, without fear, because you know that what you see right now is the old system updating, not the final verdict. The final verdict has already been issued. The veto is final. The tornado is removing the blockage. What you are seeing right now is the lag between the spiritual decree and the physical manifestation, and your job is to hold the frequency of faith until the lag closes. If you allow doubt, if you allow the voice of fear to create a second target, the tornado will strike your faith instead of your blockage. The force that was meant to remove the debt will instead remove your confidence, and you will remain exactly where you are, not because the law failed, but because you violated it. Doubt is not a feeling you must avoid. Doubt is a signal that you are treating the veto as negotiable. When doubt rises, you do not fight it with emotion. You fight it with action. You take one step that proves you believe the breakthrough is already here. You open the new account. You clean out your wallet. You buy the suit. You act as if the favor has already landed. And the moment you do, the tornado locks onto your coordinates. The veto is issued. The substance is in motion. Now we face the third law, the law that determines whether the tornado delivers the breakthrough into your hands or whether it scatters the blessing because you had no capacity to hold it. This is the law of absolute preparation. This is the law that most people violate even after they have issued the veto and activated their faith. They command the breakthrough. They act as if it is already here. And then the tornado arrives, and they watch in horror as the blessing scatters because they had nowhere to put it. Hill called this organized planning, but that language makes it sound optional, like something you can get to later. This is not optional. This is the vessel. And God does not pour a flood of favor onto a cracked foundation. You must understand that the tornado is bringing overflow, not trickle. The breakthrough you have been praying for is not a small improvement in your circumstances. It is the complete removal of the blockage and the sudden arrival of the supply that has been held back for years. When overflow arrives and you are not prepared to hold it, when you do not have the accounts opened, the systems in place, the capacity expanded, the blessing does not wait for you to get organized. The blessing scatters, the opportunity passes, the door closes, and you are left standing in the wreckage wondering why God did not come through, when the truth is that God delivered exactly what you commanded, but you were not ready to receive it. There was a man who prayed for 20 years for a financial breakthrough. He issued the veto. He activated his faith. He acted as if the blessing was already here. And then the tornado hit. A business opportunity arrived that would have solved everything. The contract was offered. The supply was delivered. But he had not prepared the vessel. He had not opened the business account. He had not filed the paperwork. He had not cleared the mental and physical space to hold the responsibility that comes with overflow. When the opportunity required immediate action, he hesitated. He scrambled. He tried to organize himself in real time while the tornado was already making landfall. The opportunity went to someone else who was ready. The blessing scattered because the vessel was not prepared. Preparation is not about earning the blessing. Preparation is about demonstrating that you have already received it. When you open the new account before the money arrives, when you clean out your wallet and make space for the abundance that is coming, when you organize your financial systems as if the overflow is imminent, you are sending a signal into the unseen realm that says, I am not hoping this happens. I am expecting this to happen. I have already made room for it. That signal is what locks the tornado onto your coordinates with absolute precision. Prepare the space, clean your wallet, open the new account, organize your records. These are not steps in a process. These are commands that must be executed with the same precision as a soldier following orders. The moment you treat preparation as something you will get to later, the moment you allow the voice of practicality to tell you it is premature to prepare for something that has not arrived yet, you signal to the universe that you do not truly believe the veto is final. And the universe does not argue with you. The universe simply reassigns the blessing to someone who is ready. You must demonstrate your absolute expectation of the tornado by creating the physical capacity to hold the blessing, proving your faith through preparation. This is not superstition. This is alignment. When your external actions match your internal command, when your behavior proves that you believe the breakthrough is not coming but is already here, you complete the circuit that allows the invisible to become visible. The vessel is not just a bank account. The vessel is your entire life organized as if the struggle is already obsolete. Your home is clean because you are expecting guests of abundance. Your schedule is cleared because you are expecting the call. Your mind is prepared because you are expecting to manage wealth instead of managing survival. Listen to these words and let them become the blueprint for the next 72 hours and beyond. My accounts are prepared. My vessel is ready. I am ready to receive the overflow. This is not a wish. This is a declaration. This is you announcing to the spiritual realm that you have completed the third law and the tornado can now deliver what it is carrying without hesitation, without delay, without scattering. If you fail to prepare the vessel, if you allow procrastination or doubt or the voice of practicality to keep you from taking the physical actions that demonstrate expectation, the tornado will arrive and you will have no capacity to hold the blessing. The favor will be delivered, but it will scatter like water poured onto sand. The opportunity will appear, but it will pass to someone else who is ready. The supply will be released, but it will flow around you instead of into you. This is not punishment. This is law. The universe does not override the law just because you prayed hard enough. You must align with the law completely, or the law moves on. The three laws are now set. You have issued the divine veto, transforming your desire from a wish into an authorized command. You have activated irreversible faith, acting as if the breakthrough is already here, even though the visible evidence has not updated yet. You have prepared the vessel, creating the physical capacity to hold the overflow when it arrives. But now we must address the final obstacle, the one that has kept you trapped longer than anything else. This is the obstacle of doubt disguised as wisdom, fear disguised as realism, unbelief disguised as humility. You are terrified. You have heard these words, and a part of you wants to believe, but another part of you is whispering that this sounds too good to be true, that you have been disappointed before, that maybe this time will be just like the last time, that maybe the tornado will come for everyone else but skip over you. That voice is not wisdom. That voice is not protecting you. That voice is the final defense mechanism of the system that has been suffocating you, and if you listen to it now, you will nullify everything you have just activated. What if the tornado takes what I do have? What if this favor is not precision but chaos? What if I lose even the little stability I have managed to hold on to? This is the fear that rises when you stand on the edge of breakthrough. This is the terror that convinces people to step back into the cage even after the door has been opened. You must understand that this fear is not coming from your spirit. This fear is coming from the system that benefits from your bondage. The enemy does not care if you pray. The enemy does not care if you hope. The enemy only panics when you start commanding, when you start acting as if the breakthrough is inevitable, when you start preparing the vessel for overflow. And in that moment of panic, the enemy will flood your mind with catastrophic scenarios designed to make you retreat. The divine tornado is not chaos. The tornado is surgical precision. It is not sent to harm you. It is sent to remove the blockage that is suffocating you. This favor is irreversible and targeted. The tornado does not make mistakes. It does not destroy the innocent. It does not take what belongs to you. It removes what has been blocking you. The debt is the target. The limitation is the target. The invisible ceiling is the target. You are not the target. You are the beneficiary. When that fear rises, when the voice of catastrophic thinking tries to convince you that the breakthrough will somehow destroy you, you must take immediate action. Stand up, point at your bills, point at the debt, point at the limitation, and say aloud, "You are the target, not me. Your removal is imminent. This is not symbolic. This is warfare. You are drawing a line between you and the blockage, between you and the struggle, and you are commanding the tornado to strike the blockage, not you. And the moment you do this, the moment you stop identifying with the struggle and start identifying with the breakthrough, the tornado locks onto the correct target. But I am not good enough. I have made too many mistakes. I have failed too many times. How can God send a tornado of favor for someone like me? This is the lie of unworthiness, and it has kept more people in bondage than any other lie. You must understand that this breakthrough is not being delivered because you earned it. This breakthrough is being delivered because you aligned with the law. The law does not operate on merit. The law operates on obedience. You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to have a flawless track record. You simply have to issue the veto, activate your faith, prepare the vessel, and step out of the way. God does not send favor to the qualified. God sends favor to the willing, and then the favor qualifies them. What if this is just my imagination? What if I am fooling myself with positive thinking and nothing is actually happening in the spiritual realm? This is the doubt of the skeptic, and it sounds intelligent, but it is actually the most dangerous form of unbelief because it disguises itself as rationality. You are not engaging in positive thinking. You are not trying to manifest wealth through the power of your mind. You are aligning your will with divine law, and divine law does not care whether you understand it or whether you can explain it. Divine law simply operates. When you follow the commands with precision, when you issue the veto, activate your faith, and prepare the vessel, you set forces in motion that do not require your belief to function. They require your obedience. My faith is too weak. I do not feel the certainty that these words are describing. I am trying to believe, but I still have doubt. Does that mean the tornado will not come for me? This is the fear of inadequate faith, and it is based on a misunderstanding of how faith operates. Faith is not a feeling you must generate. Faith is a decision you must execute. You do not have to feel certain. You simply have to act as if you are certain. You do not have to eliminate doubt. You simply have to act in spite of doubt. The size of your faith is not measured by the intensity of your emotion. The size of your faith is measured by the precision of your obedience. When you take the actions commanded, when you crashed take of commanded, prepare the vessel even though you are still afraid, when you issue the veto even though your voice is shaking, that is faith, and that faith is enough. But the obstacle is too big. The debt is too large. The barrier is too high. How can a tornado remove something this massive? This is the lie of Goliath, the lie that says the size of the problem determines the size of the solution. You are looking at the giant and concluding that you are too small. But you are not the solution. The tornado is the solution. And the tornado does not measure the size of the blockage before deciding whether to remove it. The tornado removes the blockage because that is what it was sent to do. Your job is not to figure out how the blockage will be removed. Your job is to issue the veto, activate your faith, prepare the vessel, and stay in position while the tornado does what only the tornado can do. Every objection you have is valid in the economy of lack. Every fear you feel is reasonable in the system of limitation. But you are no longer operating in that system. You have issued the veto. You have crossed into the economy of divine surplus, where the supply is not determined by logic or probability, but by the size of the command you are willing to authorize and the precision with which you obey the laws that govern this realm. The objections are real. The fear is real, but they are no longer relevant. They belong to the old system, and the old system is being shattered as we speak. Now we come to the activation command. This is not theory. This is not inspiration. This is the practical key that seals the veto, completes the circuit, and ensures that the tornado delivers the breakthrough directly into your hands. This is the 72-hour ritual, but listen carefully. The 72 hours is not the end. The 72 hours is the ignition. The 72 hours is when you light the fuse. What happens in the 72 hours sets the trajectory for the 30 days that follow, and the 30 days sets the trajectory for the 60 days, and the 60 days sets the trajectory for the 90 days. By the end of 90 days, you will have documented such overwhelming evidence of the tornado's precision, such undeniable proof that the veto is working, that you will never doubt again. This is not compliance is optional. Compliance determines the depth of the testimony. For the next 72 hours, exactly 11 minutes before sleep, you will execute this command. Not 10 minutes, not 12 minutes, 11 minutes. This specificity is not arbitrary. This specificity is alignment. The universe does not respond to vague intentions. The universe responds to precise obedience. Set your alarm. Clear your schedule. Remove every distraction. Treat this ritual with the seriousness of someone who understands that the next 72 hours will determine the trajectory of the rest of your life. Stand. Do not sit. Do not lie down. Stand. This is the posture of readiness, the posture of someone who is about to receive, not someone who is passively hoping. Breathe 3 times. Not 2, not 4, 3. Slow, deep, deliberate breaths that command the silence and create the space for the veto to be spoken. With each breath, you are releasing the anxiety, the fear, the doubt, and you are inhaling the certainty that the tornado is already in motion. Now read these words aloud, not in your head, not silently, aloud. Your voice is the bridge between the invisible command and the visible manifestation. When you speak the veto out loud, you are not trying to convince yourself. You are issuing a decree into the spiritual realm. Read this. By divine veto, the struggle is obsolete. The tornado of favor is now removing all blockages and depositing my breakthrough. I do not negotiate. I do not wait. I command the removal. I receive the supply. I am the testimony to divine precision. Read this 3 times, not once, not 5 times, 3 times, and with each repetition, you are not just saying words. You are generating the emotion of total financial release. You are feeling the weight lift. You are feeling the debt vanish. You are feeling the overflow arrive. The emotion is not decoration. The emotion is the fuel that propels the veto into manifestation. After the 3rd repetition, you will enter 5 minutes of silence. This is not meditation. This is not relaxation. This is visualization with absolute specificity. Close your eyes and see the tornado dissolving the invisible ceiling. See the bills disappearing. See the bank account updating. See the door opening. See the contract arriving. See the debt marked paid in full. See yourself walking into your home with the weight gone, the struggle obsolete, the breakthrough complete. See yourself at day 90, looking back at the evidence that will accumulate. See yourself telling this story to someone who is still trapped, becoming the proof that the tornado is real. Do not visualize vaguely. Visualize with detail. What are you wearing? What does the room smell like? What does freedom feel like in your body? The more specific the visualization, the more precise the manifestation. Upon waking, before you check your phone, before you speak to anyone, before you do anything else, you will write down one piece of evidence that the veto is active. This is not about manufacturing false hope. This is about training your awareness to recognize the signs that the tornado is already removing the blockage. A coin on the ground, an unexpected discount, a phone call from someone you had not heard from in years, a feeling of peace that should not be possible given your circumstances. These are not coincidences. These are breadcrumbs, proof that the veto has been received and the tornado is repositioning your reality. But the 72 hours is only the beginning. This is where you establish the pattern, where you prove to yourself and to the universe that you are committed to the law. On day 4, you will continue the ritual, but now you will also begin the system of evidence. This is not random journaling. This is a structured microsystem that transforms your entire experience into proof of divine intervention. Every Sunday for the next 30 days, you will sit with your evidence journal and you will document 7 specific signs that the tornado has been at work. These are not big wins, though those will come. These are the micro-evidences. The unexpected text from a creditor, offering a payment plan you did not expect. The job listing that appeared exactly when you needed it. The small refund from a company you had forgotten about. The conversation with a friend who mentioned an opportunity. The sudden inspiration for a side income. The peace during a moment that should have caused panic. The energy to handle something you usually avoid. These are the threads of the breakthrough tapestry. And when you document them, when you name them, when you claim them as evidence, you are speaking the language that the tornado understands. In the first 30 days, these evidences will be small. They will seem insignificant. They will be easy to dismiss as luck or coincidence. Do not dismiss them. Name them. Write them down. Because what you are actually doing is training your awareness to see what has always been there. The divine favor that was already operating, waiting for you to become conscious of it. By day 30, you will have documented at least 30 micro-evidences, and the pattern will become undeniable. The coincidences will be too many. The timing will be too perfect. The synchronicities will shatter the illusion of chance. In days 31 through 60, the evidences will begin to escalate. The small refunds will become larger checks. The unexpected opportunities will become concrete offers. The peace will transform into active movement. The obstacles that seemed immovable will suddenly shift. The people who had said no will suddenly say yes. The doors that were closed will suddenly open. And now, when you sit on day 60 and review these 30 days of documentation, you will see the progression. You will see the tornado building momentum. You will see the system shifting from your favor. The invisible is becoming visible. The promise is becoming tangible. In days 61 through 90, you will witness the final phase of the breakthrough. This is when the pieces assemble. This is when the scattered evidences converge into the complete removal of the blockage. The debt is not just decreasing. The debt is being eliminated. The opportunity is not just pending. The opportunity is materializing. The new income is not just a possibility. The new income is depositing. And by day 90, when you sit and review the entire 90-day journey, from the 72-hour ignition, through the 30 days of micro-evidences, to the 60-day escalation, to the 90-day manifestation, you will have an undeniable document of the tornado's precision. You will have proof. You will have testimony. You will have become the evidence. This is not theory. This is not inspiration. This is the difference between those who receive breakthrough and those who receive disappointment. Those who receive breakthrough understand that the tornado does not come all at once. The tornado comes in phases, and each phase requires documentation, awareness, and gratitude. Those who miss the breakthrough are those who fail to document the micro-evidences, who fail to see the pattern, who fail to transform the small signs into fuel for the great manifestation. They walk through the tornado and do not recognize it because they were looking for something bigger, something more obvious, something that could not be dismissed as coincidence. But the tornado speaks in the language of synchronicity, and those who do not know that language will walk right through the breakthrough. You will establish this system now. Before you sleep tonight, you will acquire a journal, not digital, physical, paper, and pen. This journal is the record of the kingdom breaking into your reality. This journal is the testament to divine law operating in your circumstances. This journal is the proof that will convince you when doubt returns. Every entry is a line in the story of your liberation. Every piece of evidence is a brick in the bridge between the invisible promise and the visible manifestation. For 72 hours, you execute the ritual with absolute precision. For 30 days, you document the micro-evidences and train your awareness. For 60 days, you watch the evidences escalate and the system shift. For 90 days, you witness the complete manifestation and you become the testimony. By the end of 90 days, the struggle will not just be reduced. The struggle will be obsolete. The invisible ceiling will not just be cracked. The invisible ceiling will be shattered completely. The tornado will have removed not just the blockage, but the entire foundation of the old system, and you will be standing on the new foundation, the foundation of divine surplus, the foundation of irreversible favor. This is 72 hours of ignition. This is 30 days of awareness training. This is 60 days of acceleration. This is 90 days of complete transformation. This is martial discipline, and compliance is 100% non-negotiable. Failure in this ritual signals to the divine that you reject the veto, and the tornado will be recalled. Do not negotiate with the instructions. Do not modify the timing. Do not skip a night because you are tired. Do not miss a Sunday documentation because you are busy. This is the difference between those who receive and those who remain stuck. Those who receive treat the entire 90-day journey as law. Those who remain stuck treat it as suggestion. When day 90 arrives and you sit with your journal and you see the evidence accumulated, when you trace the progression from the 72-hour ignition to the complete manifestation, you will understand what has happened. You will understand that the tornado was never a mystery. The tornado was always precise. The tornado was always targeting the blockage. The tornado was always repositioning your reality. The only mystery was whether you would see it, whether you would document it, whether you would believe it. Now you will know. Now you will have proof. Now you will be the living testimony to the law that Hill decoded and the divine released. The tornado has been authorized. The 72-hour ignition has been set. The 90-day journey has been charted. The system of evidence is now in motion. The invisibility of the old system is being shattered, and what emerges in its place is not luck or chance or the arbitrary favor of circumstance. What emerges is the manifestation of a law so precise, so irreversible, so aligned with divine power that those who watch it unfold will recognize it for what it truly is. The signature of God Himself reorganizing your reality to match the veto you issued. But before the tornado makes its final landfall, before the 90 days unfolds its complete testimony, before the breakthrough deposits itself into the physical realm where all can see it, there is one more transformation that must occur. This is not a transformation of your bank account. This is a transformation of your identity. This is the moment where you stop being the person who is praying for a breakthrough and become the person who has commanded one. This is the moment where the old version of you, the version defined by the struggle, the version shaped by the limitation, the version that believed the ceiling was permanent, that version must die so that the new version can be born. You have issued the divine veto. That action changed you. You activated irreversible faith by acting as if the breakthrough was already here. That action changed you. You prepared the vessel by creating the physical capacity to hold overflow. That action changed you. You documented the first evidence by recognizing the micro signs of the tornado's movement. That action changed you. Every command you have obeyed, every law you have honored, every precision you have executed, all of it has been rewiring your identity at the deepest level. You are no longer waiting for permission to be free. You are no longer negotiating with the system of lack. You are no longer small. You are no longer powerless. The person who used to panic at an unexpected bill is becoming the person who expects the abundance to cover every need before the need even arrives. The person who used to apologize for wanting financial freedom is becoming the person who commands it without hesitation and without shame. The person who used to believe that struggle was permanent is becoming the person who understands that struggle was always temporary, always preparation, always the setup for the tornado. The ceiling that used to define your possibilities is now being shattered, and as it shatters, as the fragments of the old limitation fall away, you are stepping into a new space, a space where the only boundary is the size of the veto you are willing to command. This is not positive thinking. This is not self-help motivation. This is the resurrection of your true identity, the identity you had before the system told you to be small, before the enemy whispered that you were not worthy, before the lie of permanent struggle convinced you that this was just your life now. Your true identity has always been the identity of one who commands, one who receives, one who aligns with divine law and watches reality. Reorganize around that alignment. The tornado recognizes that identity. The tornado was sent for that identity. The tornado will only deliver the breakthrough to that identity. And you are stepping into it now, right now, in this very moment. The verdict is being rendered. The gavel has struck. The sentence has been pronounced. The invisible ceiling is being shattered. The blockage is being removed. The supply is being released. The tornado is making landfall. And you are not a victim of this force. You are the one who commanded it. You are the one who authorized it. You are the one who will receive it. I am the one who commanded the tornado. This is not a claim. This is a declaration of fact. This is the utterance of one who understands that they have stepped across a threshold from which there is no return to the old system. You cannot unissue a veto. You cannot deactivate faith that has been activated. You cannot unprepare the vessel that has been prepared. You cannot undo the 90-day testimony that is being written in real time. The command has been issued. The contract has been sealed. The breakthrough is imminent. And the only way forward is through the complete reception and manifestation of what has been authorized. I am the testament to divine veto. My life is the evidence that the law is real, that the tornado is precise, that God does not operate in the economy of luck, but in the economy of law. Every day for the next 90 days, I will be documenting the proof. Every Sunday, I will be naming the evidences. Every moment of doubt, I will be reminding myself that I am not hoping for a breakthrough. I am witnessing one. I am the living proof that when desire aligns with divine power, when obedience honors the law, when preparation meets the arrival of the supply, the resulting manifestation is not a miracle. It is inevitability. It is law. It is the natural consequence of alignment with a force that does not negotiate, does not hesitate, and does not fail. I am claiming my new identity right now. I am no longer the one defined by the struggle. I am the one who commanded the tornado. I am no longer waiting for permission. I am issuing the command. I am no longer negotiating with limitation. I am authorizing overflow. I am no longer small. I am the conductor of my own breakthrough. I am no longer separated from the abundance that was always meant for me. I am stepping into it now. I am becoming it now. I am declaring it now. It is done. The veto is final. The faith is irreversible. The vessel is prepared. The evidence is being documented. The tornado is in motion. The 90 days are beginning. The breakthrough is assured. The supply is on its way. The blockage is being removed. The ceiling is being shattered. The old system is being overridden. The new system of divine surplus is now my reality. I do not hope for this. I know this. I do not wish for this. I command this. I do not pray for permission. I claim inheritance. I am the one, and it is done. But now, in this moment, you must seal this entire contract with one final action. Your breakthrough will be as immediate or as delayed as the commitment you make right now in the next 24 hours. The universe is watching. The tornado is watching. Divine power is watching to see if you are truly the one who commands or if you are still one of the many who hopes. The next 24 hours will tell the story. The next 24 hours will prove whether you are committed to the veto or whether you will retreat into negotiation. Here is your final command. For the next 24 hours, every single time you see a price, every time you encounter a cost, every time the voice of lack tries to remind you of scarcity, you will declare aloud or internally, "My supply is greater." When you see a bill, "My supply is greater." When you see a debt, "My supply is greater." When you see someone else's abundance, "My supply is greater." This is not competition. This is declaration. This is you speaking the language of the new system. This is you refusing to be governed by the old economy of scarcity. This is you claiming your place in the economy of divine surplus. 100 times in the next 24 hours, this declaration will pass your lips or echo through your mind. 100 times you will remind yourself that you are no longer small. 100 times you will signal to the universe that the veto is final. But this cannot remain an internal practice. The breakthrough requires witnesses. The testimony requires an audience. The proof must be documented and shared so that those who are still trapped know that liberation is possible, that the tornado is real, that the law is operative. You must seal this divine contract not in silence, but in the sight of those who are watching, waiting to see if this will actually work, waiting to see if this testimony will be true. Seal the contract right now. In this very moment, type the words, "The veto is final," in the space below. Do not hesitate. Do not edit. Do not second guess. This is not a suggestion. This is the signature on the contract. This is the public commitment that says, "I am the one. I have commanded the tornado. I am receiving the breakthrough. The veto is final. Let all who have ears to hear know that from this moment forward, I am no longer negotiating with the system of lack. I am commanding the system of supply. It is done. Subscribe to this testimony. Share this command with those who are still trapped, with those who do not yet know that they have the power to issue the veto, with those who still believe the ceiling is permanent. Your share is not just social media engagement. Your share is an act of liberation. Every person you share this with is a person who now has the blueprint for freedom. Every person who receives this message now has the map out of the wilderness. You are not just receiving your breakthrough, you are becoming the doorway through which thousands receive theirs. Subscribe, share, comment, testify. Comment the words, "The veto is final." Make it public. Make it visible. Make it a record that will exist long after this moment passes. Let the algorithms see it. Let the watchers see it. Let the universe see it. Your comment is not just a response. Your comment is a declaration. Your comment is proof of your commitment. Your comment is the evidence that you have crossed the threshold. You are not hoping anymore. You are not waiting anymore. You are claiming. You are commanding. You are becoming. The veto is final. The invisible ceiling is being shattered. The blockage is being removed. The tornado is descending. The supply is being released. The breakthrough is being manifested. Your 90 days are beginning. Your testimony is being written. Your identity is being transformed. The old system is dying. The new system is being born. You are the evidence. You are the proof. You are the living testimony to the law of divine veto, the law of irreversible faith, the law of absolute preparation. The veto was issued in eternity before time began. Your voice issued it into the temporal realm 72 hours ago. Your faith activated it. Your preparation sealed it. Your evidence is documenting it. Your 90 days will manifest it completely. And when day 90 arrives and you sit with your journal and you see the complete progression from the first 72 hours through the escalation through the 90-day manifestation, you will know. You will have proof. You will have become the testimony. This is not the end. This is the beginning. This is the moment where the old life ends and the new life begins. This is the moment where the struggle is rendered obsolete and the overflow takes its place. This is the moment where you step into your true identity as one who commands, one who receives, one who aligns with divine law and watches the universe reorganize around that alignment. The tornado has your coordinates. The breakthrough is assured. The supply is on its way. The 9 days are your testimony. The 90 days are your liberation. And when it is complete, when the blockage is gone, when the debt is eliminated, when the supply is overflowing, you will tell this story to everyone who will listen. You will be the proof. You are the proof. You were always meant to be the proof. Seal it. Subscribe, share, comment. The veto is final. Your breakthrough is here.